laying down that rhythm into their race pace. But again, having said that, you know, this we keep talking about this shorter course. They won't be settling to such a low rate. They'll probably try and keep this rate up. It's more of a sprint for these guys. They're going to be down this course in 5 minutes or so. 175 odd strokes, not a lot.
And the flag is going up now. And they are underway in this second heat of the Championship 8s. It's Yale University at the bottom of your picture and the University of Iowa at the top of your screen there. And it's an early lead there for Yale University as they punch away from the start in those first 15 or 20 strokes.
Yeah, that's a clean start for both crews. Both crews getting away pretty quickly, as you'd expect at this level of rowing. Half a length-ish, just slightly less than half a length, probably a third of length. Iowa, though, still just starting to push back on them a fraction as they come out of the end of the island.
Yeah, it was definitely an early jump out from Yale there, but they haven't done nearly enough to break Iowa down yet. This looks like it's going to go a little bit further than that previous race we just saw. You can see these fantastic shots as they come past the camera here. Just how hard they're working. Yale just starting to stretch out now. Looks like about 4/5 of a length.
Yeah. And they'll be aware on board that Yale boat, you know, they'll be aware that the further they go, the less that the Iowa athletes can see of them, the harder it becomes. That job just gets harder and harder. It's like turning a screw, really. You just keep twisting that screw, put more and more and more pressure on that crew behind, and leave them where they can't see you. They're relying on the cox now sitting there telling them where they are, if they're moving back, if Yale are moving away, etc. They can't see it, so it's very unsettling in this match racing.
Yeah, and Yale, you can hear being warned now by the umpire as they come past our commentary box. Really, really frenetic racing. Plenty of noise from these two crews. Great to see these 8s coming past us here. Looks like about a length now for Yale, just about to break through for Clearwater.
Yeah, and I think as they came past us, Yale looked smoother, they looked longer. I think the finish in that Iowa boat looked short, not in any way being critical, but relative to that Yale boat. So the Yale boat's probably taking out of them something in the region of 3 or 4 inches of run every stroke. You take that over 1,500 metres, that's about 30, 40 feet of free run. And that's what it looked like as they came past us, just a longer, stronger finish, a better release, and a cleaner move on.
And we're seeing a slightly higher rate at the moment in the Iowa crew over Yale. Yale now looking like this is the time, I think, just to stretch out, enjoy this race, look back on the opposition, send some puddles back to them.
Absolutely. Lovely, lovely position to be in. Two lanes, you're in front, lovely calm conditions. You know, it's a showcase time now. You come past the enclosure, you've got a lot of fans and family and friends who've flown over from the US and a lot of other American crews who will know you. There'll be a lot of noise for them. And now it's just showcasing, showboating. They've got the race tied up if they row it cleanly now and no mistakes. It's just a question of managing this process through the last bit of the race to conserve the energy for that final against the under-23s later on today.
Mistakes always a possibility, more so at Henley than anywhere else, but I've been in finals where I thought we were done and dusted and then we've caught a crab and actually ended up back behind a crew that we should have been comfortably winning and ended up having to row through them all over again to finish off the race. And like we were just saying earlier, it's a short course, so you don't have much time if something does go wrong. And you've really got to make sure that once you're ahead, you relax and you keep it clean. You know, easy actually to tense up again and get stressed again, thinking, oh, well, we should win this. But, oh, no, what happens if I catch a crab or, you know, we clip the booms? So just as important to make sure you do the job.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you just mentioned the word booms. Neither of these crews will have rowed on a course that's been boomed before. I suspect they'll have been on buoyed courses, but not boomed courses. And the booms are a very, very different prospect. You know, you haven't got to steer very far off the centre line to come very close on the end of that blade to the boom, which is hugely disconcerting for an athlete. Now, this looks like a fairly comfortable win for Yale. They look long, relaxed, looks fairly smooth.
And we have coming down the course now our very first final at this 2018 Henley Women's Regatta. And that race is in the Championship Lightweight Single Sculls. These two athletes are racing for the Godfrey Row Sports Trophy. And we have coming down the course Plum of Peterborough City on the Berkshire Station, racing Chestnut of Newcastle University on the Buckinghamshire Station. It looks like a good, clean start for both crews, but both quite central in the middle of the course there. So it'll be interesting to see now how the umpire handles this as they come up towards us.
Yeah, looks like he's just taken his flag onto the Berkshire side, asking him to move over there. But yeah, it's very close between the two scullers here. Yeah, the Peterborough sculler, Camilla Plum, represented England. Very good pedigree here. Represented England at the last two home international regattas. Placed second in the lightweight single in 2016. So it's going to hold her in good stead. Yeah, against the Newcastle sculler. So yeah, this is very tight race at the start here. As we've just gone past the booms, no issues here. But lots of power going down. Almost just pipping her on in terms of stroke rate. Just staying ahead. Almost not even a canvas in this. This is very close.
Absolutely fantastic start to the finals racing here. Looks like, yep, like you said, maybe not even a canvas. Half a canvas lead, perhaps, to Fiona Chestnut of Newcastle University, would you say?
I'd say so. It just changes by every stroke, I think, at the moment. This is absolutely enthralling. I mean, Fiona's absolutely fantastic row. Finished 9th at the final GB trials. Finished 3rd in the lightweight quad at Bucks as well. So, really experienced sculler here. So, she'll know how to hold her own in this first third. Probably won't be too phased as we come to the end of this first third. It'll be really interesting to see what happens through the middle just as they come past the commentary box.
So both confident scullers here, both experienced scullers, so they'll know that they have to keep really relaxed, keep in their pattern, and they have gone past us in the commentary box absolutely dead level. Absolutely fantastic.
This is really brilliant racing from these two. It's when you see single sculling like this neck and neck, it's such a rare thing to see, but it's really exciting. There's a very different in styles as well. Obviously the Newcastle row, Fiona Chestnut, she lots of sort of back movement at the finish as well. And then with the Peterborough sculler, Camilla Plum, going into the catch there as well, racing up to the catch, but staying within distance. Still nothing to separate these two.
Yeah, I would say maybe Camilla Plum has taken a couple of feet. She looks to have the higher rate at the moment on her opposition from Newcastle University. And whether that's in the plan or she's reacting in the moment now to this incredibly tight race, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so yeah, just seeing the Newcastle sculler there, Fiona Chestnut, in this quite enthralling championship lightweight singles for the Godfrey Row Sports Trophy, kindly sponsored by the Colgan Foundation. And look at this, just as we're coming into the regatta enclosure, still no, just a little look there just to see where she is. And that's just in your top right there. Next race we've got going on here is the championship lightweight pairs for the Parkside Trophy. We've got Thames on the near side, and we've got Commercial RC on the far side. And that's quite a good start there.
Yeah, so you can see now that championship lightweight pairs race on the course. Again, really fast and frantic start from those two pairs. Looks like another really close race coming down towards us in that championship lightweight pairs race. Two cracking races on the course at the moment. So just a reminder, this is the championship lightweight singles for the Godfrey Row Sports Trophy. And right behind it, the final of the championship lightweight pairs for the Parkside Trophy. Two great races from some lightweight athletes coming down towards us. And a difficult day to be a lightweight because it's pretty hot. So you've got to make sure you're eating enough, you're drinking enough. You know, you've got to make sure you manage yourself, you manage your weight, and you can get to the start in the best possible, best feeling as fresh as you can, basically.
Absolutely. It's amazing how much difference these small margins can make. It was fantastic as well to see on this live coverage, seeing two quite enthralling races at either end of the course. Shows you what Henley's all about. You see brilliant racing wherever you are, and this is really brilliant from Thames. Of course, in this championship lightweight doubles, let's not forget, these are the defending champions. Back to try, and Lowena Code, I'll get that right, Thames Rowan, back to try and retain her title. So this is going to be really exciting as they're coming in just past Temple Meadows here, and they're keeping pretty close together. So this is going to be really enthralling to see.
Yeah, it looks like Thames were warned early, but have now moved back onto their station. And as they come down towards the commentary box, looks like a very slight lead to the crew from Commercial Rowing Club in Dublin. Call that a canvas? No, less, half a canvas, if anything. And actually, it looks like Thames are moving back. But just to quickly catch you up on that singles race that you can see in your top right corner, looks like we have the sculler from Newcastle University in your picture there, just finishing the race.
She's absolutely delighted to finish that.
And there is the sculler from Peterborough. She looked too tired to really celebrate that one, didn't she?
It was just the one fist in the air, but it came down very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they've got the picture back now, just on from the drone footage of the championship lightweight pairs. Just having a look, this is still really competitive. I think Commercial Rowing Club just holding out here. Of course, Commercial Rowing Club, very popular crew at Henley Women's Regatta from the island. Represented here by Hazel O'Neill and Ruth Morris. They also had a very good form coming into this. At Metropolitan Regatta finishing second at a championship winners pair. So this will really give them a lot of confidence going into
and they had a great race earlier on today. Both crews in this final actually finished in the same time, 5:42, but Commercial Rowing Club had an easily verdict, whereas Thames were a slightly closer 2.5 lengths. So they're obviously a very closely matched duel here going on, and you can see it from these drone shots. I would call it maybe a canvas at the moment to the crew from Commercial Rowing Club in Ireland.
Got a steering correction there by the looks of things from the Thames Club. That looks like it's cost them a couple of feet there as they look to cling on to this commercial crew in this really exciting race. Richard just coming past the end of the regatta enclosure as you see the drone go by. Very long and strong ribbon for both crews. Thames looking to get that catch in nice and early to try and keep up with the commercial crew. It looks like they're holding on.
Yeah, it looks like, again, maybe at most Commercial have extended their lead to around a half a length. Really tidy rowing here from both crews. You know, making the most of this day at the regatta where we've got a bit of wind coming up, but actually pretty good conditions. Not bad for lightweights either. So they are just coming down now at about a half a length to a 3/4 of a length lead. And you can just see now in the bottom of your screen, we have the final of the... Oh, sorry. No longer in the bottom of your screen. But the next race up will be the final of the West End ARA Trophy for the J16 coxed fours.
That's going to be a really exciting race, I think. Just having a look as we come towards the latter parts of this championship lightweight pairs for the Parkside Trophy. And Commercial have really stretched out their lead here, keeping that long river, maintaining over this Thames crew, who are trying to defend their title here from last year. And as we come into this final third, it's going to be really interesting to see whether Thames will make the moves, try and push on as these crews try and fight for glory.
Yeah, I think it looks like Commercial have relaxed a little bit more there as they come down towards the finish. Barring any accident, it looks like it's going to be Commercial Rowing Club there taking this final of the championship lightweight pairs for the Parkside Trophy.
There they are now, another crew. It's a little handshake there of congratulations. Real achievement there in this championship lightweight pairs. Which will wait for the next race, which is the J16 fours, which is the West End ARA Trophy, which is going to be fought out between Marlow and Kingston. What a race this could be. Just at the start line here for the J16 fours. You can see on the Berkshire side, Marlow Rowing Club A and Kingston. Hey, and it looks like it's lining up based on previous results. Looks like it's going to be a really exciting final by the looks of things, though.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, fantastic racing earlier on from all of these J16 crews. Incredibly mature racing as well. And we can see now this race has started.
Wow.
And you will see Marlow Rowing Club on the bottom of your screen there in shot as they power away from the start in this J16 Cox Fours for the West End ARA Trophy now.
So just like we were saying, so it's amazing how composed these two crews are from that start, which is, especially here at Henley, you just go from a moment of silence straight into your race. And it's quite a moment. You just have to be absolutely 100% focused. And it's really interesting to see that it looks like Kingston have just started to edge out as we come to the boom, but not a lot in this.
Fantastic start there from the Kingston Rowing Club crew, actually. You know, they look really long, really actually quite relaxed as they come away from the start there. And as we start to see them coming down towards us in the commentary box, you're just getting this fantastic overhead shot. You can see perfectly well those blades dropping in time. Looks like about a half a length at the moment to Kingston Rowing Club in this final of the J16 Cox Fours.
This is brilliant. I mean, this is quite a Kingston Rowing Club crew we have here. The info is currently undefeated in women's J16 fours, coxed and coxless fours, winning the likes of Hampton, Small Boats Head, Schools, Head of the River, Junior into regionals. There's a huge list of accolades for this crew, which is quite amazing as they look at to lengthen their lead and as they lengthen their stroke as well through Temple Meadows. And they're just looking so calm and relaxed as they send those finishers away.
Absolutely, but Marlow Rowing Club clearly not willing to let this one go easily. They are keeping the pressure on their opposition from Kingston Rowing Club, just about holding overlap at the moment on their stern. But as you say, it is Kingston Rowing Club who look to have the upper hand here as they come past our commentary box.
I'll say just about a length, or just holding onto the canvas at the back there by the looks of it. It's really interesting to have a look back at the previous results as well. I mean, both of these crews had a bit of a tough time. Marlow won their race against Glasgow Academy by 1.5 lengths, time of 5 minutes 31. So are we used to this type of scenario? Will that kind of play on their minds in this particular scenario here? Will they draw on that experience?
Yeah, I think you've got to. I think you've got to use those earlier races to make sure they inform your final, and you know you've got the best out of those opportunities that you had earlier on in the weekend. And I think you have to make sure that no matter what, you can get your best performance out. And if you get surprised by a crew off the start, you know you have to decide whether to make a change to your plan, or like we were saying earlier, to just make sure you know the best way and you're confident about the best way to get from A to B as quickly as possible. Absolutely. Looks like Kingston may have just about got themselves a little bit of clear water there as they move down towards the enclosures, and they'll hear the cheers there from their supporters as they come down towards the boating area.
Absolutely. What a crucial time to get that clear water as well, especially when you've got all those crowds as well. It must really push you on as you come towards the final third of this race, which has been really fantastic to see so far against this very professional Kingston crew. Marlow going at it with hammer and nail to try and keep up with them, but I don't know if they're holding on power at the moment. But Kingston looking in control right now, but we'll see how this pans out towards the final third.
Absolutely. Really impressive quality of rowing here from both those J16 crews. But as we said, it looks like Kingston Rowing Club who have control at the moment of this final of the J16 Coxed Fours.
Yeah, no, because they're continuing to maintain their position in this race, looking very strong even from this distance, and looking it's a very good platform as well that they've set up for themselves. You can see from the back here, really attacking the catch there to set themselves up and finishing really strongly for that strong platform, even as those bumps come in from the passing boats, which took a lot of traffic today on the river. You must have to adapt yourself at certain points on this course.
Yeah, this Kingston crew look very confident now. They look like they have settled into a very, very strong mid-race pace. and they now have the pleasure of watching the opposition from Marlow Rowing Club behind them, and they can react now. They have that opportunity to respond to any moves that Marlow might make. So just quickly now, we can see the start of the Aspirational lightweight single sculls for the Fiona Dennis Trophy coming off the start. Looks like it's been an absolutely cracking start there from the Edinburgh University sculler MacDonald, and she is already leading with a comfortable margin as she gets towards the end of Temple Island.
Oh, well,
Call that a good 4 lengths, perhaps?
Absolutely. That is incredible at this stage of the race. She's really attacked the start, keeping the rate high as well as she comes into the booms. Really wants to establish that lead over Leicester's Bloomer, and it's really worked dividends for her as well. What a start that was. You just see in the top of your picture as well, that Kingston crew just finished. Always have a little crab at the finish line there. Doesn't matter at this point. They're all done now. As we just come back now, we see the Edinburgh sculler, using MacDonald, absolutely flying along.
So as we see those single scullers come down towards us in the commentary box, just going to catch you up on some of the results from earlier on that we haven't yet had a chance to bring you. We have the 2 semi-finals of the Championship 8s, and it was the composite crew, the under-23 composite crew, by 4.5 lengths in a time of 4:43 over Yale University B. And then in the other semi-final, the Yale University A crew won by 1.5 lengths over the University of Iowa in a time of 4:37.6. We've also had our first finals on the course, and the Championship lightweight single sculls was the first of those races for the Godfrey Rowe Sports Trophy, kindly sponsored by the Colgan Foundation, and that was a win for the sculler from Newcastle University. They were quickly followed down by the Championship lightweight pairs final for the Parkside Trophy, and that race was won by Commercial Rowing Club from Ireland by 1 length over the sculler from Thames Rowing Club.
Yeah, just thank you for those results. Yeah, just as the Aspirational lightweight singles just come past the commentary box for the Fiona Dennis Trophy, and there's a real contrast in the way that these two scullers are going at it. Got a really long, nice rhythm from Bloomer, from MacDonald for Edinburgh, whereas you look at Bloomer's rhythm in the Leicester crew, and it's almost taking a half stroke there, I think. But this is a dominant performance from the Edinburgh sculler right now.
Absolutely. You know, she looked like she got that lead very, very early on, and is now able to watch her opposition and react to any move that she might make as they move down towards the enclosures. A really commanding lead there for MacDonald of Edinburgh University over her opposition from Leicester University, Miss Bloomer.
Yes, we can see Laura MacDonald continuing to establish her position on this final. And what a position it is over Leicester's Alice Bloomer. Real contrast in races here. It's amazing to see a race like this. Just seeing a sculler so dominant in this performance. I mean, I can't imagine. How can you come? I mean, we've heard the story about a crew coming back from 4 lengths down yesterday. But what goes through your head when you're at this point?
Absolutely, of course it happens. And you have to be really switched on every single stroke of the way, especially in a smaller coxless boat when you know you've got to be responsible for all your actions. We've just got now the start of the J16